One.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Glass, presented by Moneyland Media. Hope you guys are all having a great day, great week, great month, great year. By the way, I found out earlier today that this is 2021, and I almost fell over.
You just found that out?
I was like, what do you mean
2021? We're 3 months into it, man.
Right, and I also discovered it was March. Only because of March Madness. That's the only reason.
That dad life. It's really doing a number on you.
Think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way too. So welcome to March. The second half of the NBA season will begin tomorrow with a small slate of games, 2 NBA games going on tomorrow. But who cares? The NBA returns tomorrow after an All-Star weekend filled of no viewers as usual. People tuned in maybe to watch Obi Toppin get screwed over.
And Toppin, Cassius Stanley kind of got screwed over.
Okay, listen, you can't say somebody got screwed over when they were eliminated in the first round.
Well, his dunk was better than, what was it, Anthony?
I can dunk better than Anthony. If I could just get up to that level, I can dunk better than that. It was a basic dunk where he attempted to kiss the rim and missed. Who cares?
It's a crazy, it's crazy. You're like to these guys, hey, you can't go out and do anything.
Right, like they're not allowed to play like volleyball.
Yeah, you're not allowed to you can't go out to dinner, even though it's allowed. You're allowed to go out to dinner, not even outside door dining. You're really not allowed to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go see your kids if your kids are playing a sport, even though they're allowing guests. You can't go see it. But here we're gonna put you guys all through this. With who was it? Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons both were exposed.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's you can't have it one way and then do another. It's hypocritical. And I love my boy Adam Silver. I think he does a great job with the league. I think he's the best commissioner out of all the leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does everything right, but that's something that he did not do right.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm telling you. But, here we are, halfway point. We talked a little bit about, the standings. It's up on our YouTube, everywhere else that podcasts are listened to. Everywhere else that podcasts are listened to. That was a weird statement. But, yes, that's exactly where you could find it. Now it's time to get into the gambling side. So, James, I think it's time that we start off with division winners. I got a bunch of stuff, open. We'll start with the Pacific Division, and the team that's in first place in it right now is actually number 3 in the odds to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers are plus 105.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers are plus 135. Phoenix Suns are plus 390. That's the team that's in first place there right now. Golden State plus 19,000. And here's something that you might be interested in because you're really hyped on this team.
Uh-oh.
Plus 24,000 for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, no, we're not going to go with the Sacramento Kings on this one.
Oh, you're not? Really?
No, believe it.
I know you were high on them, though, so I was like... By the way, that division's pretty stacked. Pretty stacked. Lakers. Go ahead. You first.
So what I'm looking at here in this sense is who can I rule out? So I'm ruling out the Kings, and I'm ruling out the Golden State Warriors.
Really?
So
that's a bold prediction.
I don't think the Warriors have what it takes.
No, that was sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
That was a bold prediction that the two with the least chance of.
Well, from a gambling perspective, this is why I have to do it this way.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's just about getting me down to the odds that I need. So now you eliminate the Kings and you eliminate the Warriors.
Yes.
So now you have a 3-horse race, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have the Lakers, the Clippers.
Yeah.
And the Suns.
All within a 1.5 games from each other.
Correct. And now, so that means that mathematically each team has a 33% chance.
Right. Also, just in case this matters. Suns are on a 4-game winning streak, while the other two are on losing streaks right now.
Correct. So now that gives me a 33% chance from all of them, right?
Yeah.
So the Lakers are at how much?
Plus 105.
Plus 105. Clippers are at how much?
Clippers are at 135. Plus 135.
Plus 135. And the Suns
Yeah.
are at how much?
Plus 390.
Plus 390. Okay. Now, out of those three, who has the worst record?
Clippers.
And their record is what?
Their record is 24-14. Lakers are 24-13, and Suns are 24-11.
24-11. Okay. So now what's intriguing to me here is the Suns at plus 390. And here's why. They currently have the best record. LeBron James has been around the league for a very long time, and he knows one thing that a lot of guys don't. Now, Chris Paul is under the impression of knowing the same thing, obviously, because Chris Paul's been in the dance for 96 years and counting. Well, so these guys know that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
So to me, the Suns being the more youthful team with veteran leadership, they still are the more youthful team, especially considering the Lakers, who are the oldest team in the face of the sun.
Yeah. So no pun intended.
Right. Yeah. Clever. But the Suns at plus 390, they're a division-winning team to me, because the Lakers know it doesn't matter about winning the Pacific. Doesn't matter to the Clippers. You have Kawhi. You have former champions on that team. So the Suns at plus 390 is great value to me, because the Lakers are going to lose games. The Clippers are going to lose games. The Suns are going to try to beat everybody into the ground this year.
Right. And also, like, I think from a perspective of this team, that's a huge confidence boost. Like, the other two teams have veterans that have won before and have been in that situation. Like, this is something – I don't think they have a player that's won. Like we talked about, they had like 2 players that actually made it to the playoffs, or 3 players that have made it to the playoffs in their whole organization. So
So yeah, at plus 390, that's a no-brainer to me, especially because that's your current standings leader.
Right.
So plus 390 on that, lock me in for that, because you're getting no value out of the Lakers. You're getting, 100 for
very little value.
Right. In the sense of it's a long season.
Right.
And anything can happen. I'd rather have my 100 be worth 390 than my 100 be worth 105, in the sense of Anthony Davis is already injured. If something happens to LeBron, you could just burn your $100 right there.
No, you're right.
In year, 47 for LeBron? So
yeah, but look at you, fountain of youth, man. The fountain of youth.
A man takes salt baths.
Him and Tom Brady, their regimen is...
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Was it regime? No, regimen. I think I said it right.
Regimen.
I'm not the best with words.
Regime is not what we're looking for.
No, it's not, right? But their regimen is like second to none, and that's why they've been able to have such great careers.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I get the Suns pick. But it is really close, and they just went on a 4-game win streak. Like I said, they're 8-2 in their last 10. I think it depends, and I'm about to look at their upcoming schedule. It really depends. They don't have a terrible schedule going forward. It's not, they play a couple of really bad teams. They play Minnesota twice in a row, which is just like great. They play Sacramento a couple times. Houston, which is terrible. Atlanta, I don't think Charlotte can keep up with them. So, I'm also going to go with you, and I got the Suns winning as well.
It's great value.
It is great value, so I'll go with you on that. All right, next up we got the Southwest, which is an interesting division. Currently leading that division, I'll just give you the standings in that division real quick, which I think I should have done the last one, but we're learning as we go along.
Yes.
For the Southwest division, it is Spurs are currently leading at 18-14. Dallas is 18-16, but just so everyone is aware, they are 8-2 in their last 10, and on a win streak of 3. They might be finally heating up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do need to make a big move though before the trade deadline, to some type of move for bench.
Yeah.
Which no one's talking about. No one's talking about how they need to really do anything at the deadline, which shocks me. Memphis Grizzlies are third. They're 16-16. New Orleans Pelicans 15-21. That was a really disappointing team. And rounding out the losers is the Houston Rockets, who we've already talked about, are on a 13-game losing streak, but still have better odds to win their division than the Golden State Warriors. I'll tell you how weak this division used to be, a premier division.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When there was Spurs, Dallas, Houston, that was a premier division in early 10s.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and Memphis too, because Memphis was playing pretty decent at that point. They weren't great, but that was, New Orleans. And Chris Paul Nolo was also, because you could never count that out. So that division has kind of gone in a downward spiral a little bit, but I'll give you the odds right now, and it's Mavericks minus 180, Spurs plus 320, Grizzlies plus 600, Pelicans plus 1,200, and Rockets plus 5,500, which is just also nuts because Golden State is much better record than Pelican, by a lot, and that just shows how weak this
5 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, let's break this down into a 3-horse race at least.
I don't even.
It probably isn't.
Yeah.
Because at number 3, you said the Grizzlies.
Yep.
I don't think they have what it takes to cut it this year.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna.
But John Morant aside, they're not firing.
They're still young.
Yeah.
I think they have
a decent. Next year, they're a good buy.
Yeah. They kind of got a tough schedule too. They're playing Utah, three times in March. That's a tough one. They got Golden State twice in a row. That's kind of a tough back-to-back game. Portland, a lot of Denver in here. Yeah, they got a tough schedule going forward.
Right. So here I'm going to look at So I'm going to look at 2 teams here. I got this down to a 2-horse race.
Right.
We're going to bust this down to the Spurs and the Mavs.
Right.
Who's current leader? Spurs?
Spurs are the current leader, but not,
Right.
leader.
So the Spurs are plus 320 and the Mavericks are minus 180?
Yes, because the Mavericks are kind of hitting on all cylinders right now.
Okay. Spurs, what's the record?
They are, let me get it up, 18-14.
18-14. Holy Christ.
Yeah.
And the Mavs?
Mavs are 18-16.
18-16.
They're a game back.
So I understand the Mavs are hitting on all cylinders, but a few things come down to me in this.
Mm-hmm.
Youth. Mavericks have a lot of youth. And some middle-aged guys, but not really winners. Kristaps never really won anything.
No, I mean, he hasn't played enough to win.
And this is where it's going to come down to what you mentioned before, the depth.
Yeah, their depth is terrible.
Bad. The thing the Spurs have, you got depth, you got talent, and you have a Greg Popovich.
Yes.
So, to me...
So, and I think a lot of people forget, Rick Carlisle isn't a Trump. And I think people have made him a Trump in the last couple of years because they haven't been good. But he's he and I'm not saying it was because of him, but he beat the team of the 2010s.
He can coach.
Yeah, so he's no... Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why he's kept his job this long. I'm sure he's like the second longest tenured guy.
Right. I agree. What the hell did this guy just do? I apologize. I'm like confused at most of the things that my friends do. Yeah, so to me, value on the Spurs here is big to me, and basically here's why. They're great on the road. They're less good at home. The Mavericks are about 50-50 home and road. Mavericks are catching fire, but I'm concerned when a team catches fire and gains that much value.
Yeah, that's
So
a lot of value. But I think it's also that they were projected to be 4 or 5 seed starting the year. We really thought that they were going to be the team that came and started playing,
correct,
really well, and they just haven't been that team. So I think it's also a little bit of expectations for them that is getting that thing. But no, I understand. Their point differential is still in the negative.
Yeah. Which is, again, this is just more reasons why that value deserves to be put onto the Spurs at plus 320, and you're my division leader. I'm taking it.
Yeah,
I'm taking it. You're my current division leader. You have
one of the
greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, we can't call him
DeMar DeRozan. You have LaMarcus Aldridge. You're firing on cylinders too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trust the Spurs here a little bit more than I'm going to trust the Mavs because the Mavs haven't proven anything to me yet. Let's say the Mavericks won't make the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the Spurs are going to take this division.
Yeah, and you got a couple of young guys who are really stepping up. Derek White's obviously someone you got to think about. Patty Mills has been on that team for ages. He knows how to win. Yep. And Deontay Murray, kid who really knows what he's doing. And Lonnie Walker as well.
Yes.
Who has had big expectations of him, and I think he's going to eventually meet them. I'm actually on your side with the Spurs as well, because of Dallas's lack of depth. They really, if they don't make a big buzz in the trade deadline, it's not going to be good for them.
Who's their depth? Boban?
Oh, Boban's fun to watch.
I love Boban. He's a great character of the NBA. He's awesome.
He doesn't have a lot of skills, but what he doesn't have in skills, he makes up for in heart. Can we say that?
Well, how much skills do you need when you're already seeing the rim?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dallas, like I said, Dallas's depth is it's not great. I mean, it's Trey Burke, who I love, has just never planned out. Willie Cauley-Stein, okay. Yep. Dorian Finney-Smith is probably your best depth. I love Tim Hardaway Jr., but again, not really. Kristoff, you can never think. Maxi Kleber has actually been playing pretty well for them. But again, their depth is just not where it needs to be when you look at teams like the Lakers, the Clippers, even the Suns, especially Utah. Utah has great depth. Even Indiana, like Pacers, they just don't have the depth to really make it. And you can only climb on someone's back for so long.
That is very true.
All right. Next up, we have the Northwest. The Northwest Division.
No, I hate the
current leader in that division is the Utah Jazz at 27-9. Portland Trailblazers 21-14. Denver Nuggets coming back at 21-15. Oklahoma City Thunder 15-21. And the worst team in the division and the league with the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7-29. All right, so let me get you their odds. Jazz are minus 22.5. I'm sorry, 2,200. I don't know why I said the 22.5.
Minus 2,200?
2,200, yep.
That's what we ain't taking.
Yeah, we're not taking, Nuggets plus 1,400.
Who is this?
Plus, the Nuggets are plus 1,400.
Okay.
Trailblazers are plus 8,000. Timberwolves are plus 24,000. Same with the Thunder.
All right, so I think we know who we're ruling out instantly.
the three teams that are.
Yeah,
so it's Thunder, Timberwolves, Jazz. You're ruling out.
So there's an old saying.
Yeah.
People say never bet massive favorites because there's no value to them.
Right.
But there's value to every bet.
Mm-hmm.
If it wins. Right?
True.
So now, in a case where this is a perfect example, you have a team that's minus 2,200.
Yeah.
And then you have two teams that are plus 24,000. A value chaser is going to chase the Wolves and the Thunder. But just because it's plus money does not make it value.
I mean, that's if you go Timberwolves here, you're an idiot.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Just because something has a plus,
I'm pretty sure they're like already out of the playoff race.
most likely, yeah.
They're
and
20.
They are team in the NBA.
They are 20 games back. They're on a 9-game losing streak.
Right, and there's 28 games left in the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shot. I mean,
right.
No.
So that's not value. That's plus money. Plus money doesn't create value unless it wins.
No.
So you have to look at things here. You have to, and I always say this, but you can't hope for an injury, but it creates value because right now the Jazz are minus 2,200. So
Jazz, okay, I will say this though. The Jazz are how many? They are 5.5 games, which is a lot of games when you look at how much they've played.
Absolutely.
Just say something does happen to one of those guys. They do have guys on the bench that they probably have one of the better depth charts in the league.
Yes, they do. Which is why the best bet here is the Jazz.
Right.
But you're laying 2,200 to win 100. And when you're laying that kind of money, it's only cause for damaging actions.
Effects.
So
you're going Nuggets here, I'm assuming?
I'm going to go no bet on this one.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no way you should be betting this. Maybe at the start of the season, because I have a feeling probably the Nuggets were this favorite at the start of the season.
If I had to choose something here, and without it being laying $2,200, I would choose the Nuggets. I'm not taking the Blazers at plus 8,000. I would take the Nuggets at plus 1,400 because I think they're the most capable of going on a serious run.
Gotcha. All right, next up.
And it's great value.
It is.
$25.
I can see the Nuggets going on a run too.
420.
They're currently the 6th seed in the West. If the NBA ended today, the regular season, that's what it is. All right.
Yes.
Next up, we got the Southeast Division. Heat are minus 230. Hawks are plus 410. Hornets are plus 700. Wizards are plus 1,300. Magic are plus 1,500. And let me give you the standings. Miami Heat at 18-18 are leading the division. Hornets are right behind them at 17-18. Hawks are 16-20. Wizards are 14-20. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Orlando Magic are the losers of the division so far, 13-23 on a 5-game skid.
Can you give me the Magic's value?
Plus 5,500.
Plus 5,500.
You're not going that way.
No. Wizards
are plus 1,300. This division is much closer.
We have for the Hawks.
Hawks are plus 410.
All right. Is it and the Hornets and the Heat?
Yeah. No. It's Heat minus 230. Hawks plus.
Minus.
Yeah. Hawks plus 410, and then comes the Hornets at plus 700. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, I'm gonna drop this down to I'm gonna keep this I'm gonna put this at a four team race.
Oh, you're putting the Wizards?
I'm gonna throw the Wizards in there, and for a very specific reason.
They're catching fire a little bit.
Yeah, Heat, Hornets, Hawks.
They just beat the Clippers.
I'm rolling out the Magic. Goodbye. What's the differential between the Wizards and the Heat?
In what games?
Yeah.
I believe they are 5 games behind. Let me check. I think they're 5. Sorry, they're 3 games behind.
3 games behind?
Yeah, that's from 4th place to 1st place.
Okay.
That division's very open.
Yes.
But let's remember, Miami also struggled early in the season, kind of coming back now.
Absolutely. All right, so what's very, very, very intriguing here is the fact that I have the the Wizards at plus 1,300 and the Heat at minus 250, minus 230. So that's like plus 1470 in the back end.
Gotcha.
That's my differential, but it's only 3 games separating them.
Yeah.
And the Wizards are really hitting on all cylinders.
They are. They're seeming to get it together, but so are the Heat. Hornets are not a team to look down at. Hawks could catch up. They've struggled a little bit, but they could catch up. I mean, it really is an open race at this point in this division, and we can't say that about all the divisions.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's another thing that triggers me: the Heat's deep run last year.
Yeah.
Now I get it. They struggled in the beginning of the season, so they shouldn't struggle the rest of the season. But that's not always how it works.
No,
So, I'm gonna go with the Wizards here at plus 1,300. I really like their potential. Bradley Beal's playing out of his freaking mind. He wants a contract next year. He's gonna lead that team. I think they have not great depth, but they're good. Good youth, good veteran leadership. Russell Westbrook's playing very well. I'm gonna take them at the plus 1,300 and hope that the Heat start tailing off a little bit. I don't think the Hawks are gonna do anything.
No, and I don't think the Hornets. I think they're too young. Maybe next year. I got the Heat. I know that it's not great value. But I'm not looking. What?
Great value if it wins.
And I think it will. Like I said, they hit their rocky point early in the season. I think that will. I think now, especially after this week that they've kind of had to rest, they haven't had any players. I don't think in the All-Star game. So that's what I got. All right, next up, we got the Atlantic, which to me might be the best division right now. And here are the Atlantic odds. Nets minus 190. 76ers plus 155. Celtics plus 3,000. Toronto Raptors plus 6,500. And the Knicks plus 13,000.
Can you just give me the Raptors again, please? I missed
Raptors are plus 6,500.
6,500.
Yep. All right, and this is current. The Knicks are 13,000. All right, so this is the standings right now. If the season ended today, every single one of these teams would make the playoffs. That's incredible. That really is incredible.
That is very incredible.
76ers are 24-12. They're leading that division right now. We got the Nets. They're 24-13. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Celtics 19-17. They're on a 4-game win streak after kind of falling off a little bit. And let's not forget the Knicks 19-18, over 500, probably for the first time ever in the second half. They are 7-3 in their last 10. The Raptors are 17-19. They are on a 2-game losing streak, and even more impressive, every single one of these guys' point differentials are in a positive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good division.
All right. So I'm going to rule out one team. I'm going to rule out 2 teams. I'm going to rule out the Raptors and the Knicks here, just because I don't have any good feelings about them. That does not mean.
Raptors are 7 games behind the 76ers. Knicks are 5.5. Celtics are 5, and the Nets are right on their tail at they're a half game back.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm ruling both teams out.
Mm-hmm.
Raptors and Knicks. I'm going to keep this to a 3-horse race because I think the Celtics can catch fire. I think they're very well coached and they have great depth. I think they have a great star in Jason Tatum. So
and Jaylen Brown's no Trump either.
No, absolutely. I think they check off every box.
They do.
The Nets are at minus 190, and here's why I'm a little concerned. And not to say that they won't win this thing, but here's why I'm concerned about that minus 190. Keywords that you just mentioned, they are 9-1 in their last 10. So majority of that value that they're putting on them has come in the past 10 games. That scares me. Because if they slip off and they go 5-5 in the next 10.
Can I defend them real quick?
Yeah.
They're getting used to playing with each other now. I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever.
Mm-hmm.
But they have gotten used to playing with each other now. The 3 main pieces have actually played together. We've seen development really come. They're using their bench really well too. Steve Nash, whoever's in his ear, is doing a good job.
Mike D'Antoni.
Steve Nash won Coach of the Month for the Eastern Conference last month. They're kind of hitting on cylinders. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not taking them, but I'm just saying that also impacts their 9-1.
Yeah,
and they played good teams too.
Mhm.
But since the beginning of the season, they've played really well against good teams. They played really bad against not good teams. So
right. So I'm going to end up going with the 76ers here at the plus 155 value. I think that it's about time. I think Doc Rivers knows what the hell he's doing.
Yep.
Again, great coach, good depth, good age, and you have a star having a star season.
Yep.
Joel Embiid is having the best season of his career. I think that's going to carry them really far. I think the Nets, it's not like they're not going to play well the rest of the year. I think they're going to slip up a little bit. Like these, you can't go 9-1 in every game, in every 10. So I think they're going to have a little bit of recession, and one of the reasons I think that is because I don't like Blake Griffin on this team at all. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem because now you're adding in a fourth mental patient into the group.
All right. One, he's not a. I will.
Blake
Kevin Durant's not a mental patient. James Harden has proven to be a.
When did I say that they were mental patients?
Well, who's the four mental patients then?
No, he's the fourth mental patient.
Yeah, who is the four mental patients then?
No, you have your three stars, and now you have a fourth. He's the mental patient.
I don't think he's a mental patient at all.
He's out of his mind.
No, he's not. He's really not.
Good luck.
He's one of the most. If you look when guys start fights with him, he never goes back at them. That's an ignorant statement. That's an ignorant statement.
With his Twitter comments and all his other nonsense.
I don't think he does.
What you really need to be careful of is you guys lacked defense before this. You're going to lack even more defense now.
Well, rumor is
that you're going to trade him for a defensive player.
No, that Andre Drummond is more than likely going to pick the Brooklyn Nets to come to.
Okay. When? Next year?
No. When he gets bought out.
Enough is enough now with this.
I mean, it is getting ridiculous. I'm not mad.
This is just ridiculous.
But
I'm getting real tired of everybody just saying.
Anyway, let me get to my picks.
Jimmer Fredette.
I'm gonna mute you. Let me get to my pick. I'm going 76ers plus 155 as well. I just think that Joel Embiid's having a great season. I think Ben Simmons is a great defender. I really like their bench, and I think Doc Rivers kind of got the short end of the stick in LA, and I think he's a good coach. And I think people forget he's a good coach because he's played.
Great coach.
He is a great coach, but people, say, "Oh, well, he got carried." But I think that he played a big part in how Rondo actually came to be a star.
I agree.
All right. Next up, we have the Central Division. James, you're not going to like this. Bucks are minus 20,000 favorites. Pacers are plus 3,600. Bulls are plus 25,000. Cavs are plus 25,000, and Pistons are plus 25,000. And let me get to our standing. The only team over 500 in this division is the Bucks. They are 22-14. Then comes the Bulls, 16-18. Pacers are 16-19. Cavs 14-22. And the Pistons are 10-26.
Yeah, I mean, can we just rule out everybody?
I mean, it's pretty much this is a non-bet.
Yeah, this is a no bet. What's the number? Bucks minus what?
20,000.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. It's a no bet. It's gonna be the Bucks division.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes you mad though. Like the Atlantic division is by far.
You want to roll 20 bucks on the Bulls there and hope Giannis goes down. Let's face it, that team is nothing without him at this point.
I mean, yeah, but there's only one team in this whole division that's making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's
crazy.
The only division that you could say that with so far. The only division that only has one team.
By the way, the Bulls have been money-making machines this year. They cover all the
Bulls. All right, so we move on from that, and we're going to move on to our – you want to do player futures?
Player what?
I think we kind of did this. We did this with our awards.
Yeah, we did.
So we don't need to go that way. Team futures, okay. We'll start with the Eastern Conference champs.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna give you the top 9.
Don't even go that far. Give me top 5.
All right, Nets are plus 130, Bucks are plus 280, 76ers are plus 500, Celtics are plus 1200, and Miami Heat are plus 1600.
All right, you went a little quick for me there.
All right, sorry. Nets plus
top 5 teams. I don't need the values right now.
All right, Nets, Bucks, 76ers, Celtics, Heat.
Celtics, Heat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now at value, how much are the Bucks?
Bucks are plus 280.
All right. I think the Bucks are good value at plus 280. Right? They don't play any competition.
But I think we both said this last playoff. I love Giannis. Giannis is like one of
wait a minute. Are you tricking me again?
What?
Are you tricking me again with who's going to win the Eastern Conference?
That's what it is. It's the Eastern Conference champs. Who's going to win the Eastern Conference? They don't give awards like.
So the pennant winner. You got to give me something that's specific.
Well, I didn't say the regular season, so that should have.
All right, so we're not going Bucks then because they're the best. They're the best regular season team I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't make any sense.
I'm obviously taking the Celtics here.
You're taking the Celtics.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the only team that's gotten into the playoffs out of all these guys.
Well, that's not true.
I know the Heat aren't going back though, so I'm not taking the Heat.
Yep, that makes sense.
The Sixers are busts every year. The Bucks haven't gotten past anybody, and the Nets haven't been there yet. And James Harden hasn't done anything to prove that he can play in the playoffs.
All right.
Neither has Kyrie has, but he needed his superstar to carry him. Kevin Durant has. Blake Griffin's never been past the playoffs.
Okay.
Every superstar you got don't know how to win, except for Durant, who needed Steph Curry. Actually, I'm sorry, he needed Andre Iguodala.
No, he didn't. He wasn't there that year.
Prior, right?
He wasn't there that year.
Yeah,
they needed him, but
they won without him.
They won once without him, and then they had that great season and they lost. So they needed him. Anyway, I'm going 76ers plus 500. I just think they're the best sound team. Doc Rivers has been there before. They got some good shooters, great defense. What?
What's he gonna do? Lace up a pair of sneakers?
He's been there as a coach.
Yeah, but he's the only one.
Doesn't matter. No one was there with the Raptors. The Raptors didn't have anyone.
That is very true.
So, I'll
give you that one.
So let's go with that. I'm going 76ers here for me at the plus 500. I don't want to say I believe in them because I don't want them to make it. I want this clear. Nets all the way. But
yes.
You know me, I'm not going to say it because that's putting bad vibes in the atmosphere if you're that confident.
True. Plus, I don't know if I trust Steve Nash as a coach in the playoffs. I trust Mike.
I don't know why you would trust Mike D'Antoni.
Because he's got more than 8 minutes of experience.
Yeah, but he's never been to the big dance either.
Right? Is he supposed to?
With good teams. He's had good teams.
Please.
That's Phoenix Suns team. Come on, man. That Phoenix Suns team was really good.
2 players deep.
It was not 2 players. It was not 2 players deep. You're
Nash and Stoudemire.
They had Raja Bell, who was a very good. Don't talk bad about him because I'm hoping to get him on the show.
Okay.
So he's a good defender. He's been an all defensive.
One of the best defenders I've ever seen.
You're an idiot. I will get him on the show. But yeah, he's they had some really good players. So Sean Marion, they had good players. All right, next up we got NBA Western Conference champs. Let's give it top 5 again.
Yep.
You want me to give you the odds with it this time?
Yeah, just at a medium pace.
Okay. Lakers plus 120.
Yep.
Clippers plus 270.
Yep.
Jazz plus 450.
Yep.
Nuggets plus 1500.
Yep.
Suns plus 1500.
Ooh, sweet. I'm taking the Jazz here at 450.
Okay. I know you really believe in the Jazz.
I really do.
Yep.
I love everything about that team.
I know. It makes sense. Like why you would love that team.
Depth, coaching.
Coaching, great coach.
I know. Depth, coaching. You got your star. You got a freaking workhorse in the paint.
Yep.
So I'm really intrigued by that team. You have 3-point shooting.
Depth on the bench.
Yep. Exactly. So they check off every box for me.
Yep. I agree with you. I just don't think they're there yet. I'm going with the Clippers at plus 270. I'm going Clippers plus 270. And I think that brings it to the end of our Moneyline Media Off the Glass Gambling Special. Let us know what you think.
At the house. Utah Jazz.
All right. We're saying goodbye, so.
It's been a lovely good day, gentlemen. And lady, gentlemen.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated.